I'm gonna show you guys how to make biryani. There is hundreds of ways of making biryani. Like every family makes it so differently. Enough talking, let's just get into the video.
The first thing we're going to do is marinate the chicken.
So this is ginger, garlic and chili paste. To make it, you just need about 10 cloves of garlic and like a thumb, like a thumb and a pinky sized piece of ginger. And I added about 8 green chilies because they weren't that spicy, but obviously you can add more or less to your liking. And I just blended that up with a tiny bit of water and you get this.
Now don't be shy with how much ginger garlic paste you're adding. Honestly, the more the better.
I actually made this pot myself.
Make sure that you give it a really good mix, like you want all the spices to cover every bit of chicken.
Now we're gonna wash the rice.
It might take a couple of washes, but you want the water to be dead clear.
I've covered the rice with some cold water and I'm just gonna let it soak for a bit. So now we're gonna make our homemade biryani masala, but obviously if you want to use the store-bought stuff you can, but I thought I might as well just show you how to make it. Let's see what I can remember. So green cardamom, cloves, cinnamon, bay leaf, sahi jeera, soam and cumin seeds, peppercorns, star anise. This is black cardamom. I don't know what this is called, but it's basically like the outside of a nutmeg. I don't know, I'll Google it. So just toast them on a really low flame till they get nice and fragrant.
Now you're going to grind it into a fine powder.
It was that easy.
I like getting my rice cooked and out of the way first, so that's what we're going to do now. If you don't want to use ghee, just feel free to use oil as well.
I'm going to be doing 4 cups of rice to 6 cups of water because I'm doing every 1 cup of rice to 1.5 cups of water. So that's, I don't know, the maths ain't mathing right now, but I'll just write it on the screen.
I absolutely love the Tilda basmati rice, so that's what I'm going to be using.
So on a high heat, let it come to a bit of a boil.
When the edges start bubbling like this, you want to cover it with a lid. If you use the instructions on the screen, I'm sure you're going to have perfectly cooked rice like this.
We're gonna get started on the chicken now.
The first onion that you're going to fry, you want to get it nice and crispy so you can add it in between the layers and then set that to a side. Some people don't like raisins in their biryani, but I love it, so it's up to you if you want to add it or not. So now we can start sauteing the rest of the onions till they're nice and golden. Add in the ginger, garlic and chili paste, followed by the tomatoes.
Not that much.
And then your spices, of course.
No, I'm just gonna add the whole thing. Saute on a low flame so you don't burn the spices, okay?
And don't be like me, do not get the chicken absolutely everywhere when you try to put it in the pot.
I want the chicken to be basically all cooked. Before we get into the layering, I know some people absolutely hate it when you bite into like the whole spices, so feel free to just get rid of them if you want. But I don't mind, so I'm just gonna leave them in there. Now for the rice. Now another layer of chicken. don't know. I always take it out. I'm gonna use a chopstick to poke some holes in it just so like the steam goes all the way through. I don't think you need to do this, but I'm just gonna do it anyway. It's just a few, like so. A little bit of ghee on top. You don't need to do this as well. This is optional. And then I'm gonna do the rest of the raisins and the crispy onions. Now I'm just gonna add a bit of chopped mint and coriander on top. Put a lid on it and put it on the lowest flame for about 10-15 minutes. Okay, now for the exciting part, which is eating. Look how absolutely stunning that looks. And it was pretty easy, I think, ish. You let me know if it was easy or not. Wow. Let me plate this up and then I'll show you. Tell me that doesn't look absolutely beautiful. You can't. I just love biryani. You can have it with some raita and some poppadoms or some pickle. I like it just on its own. It's absolutely beautiful. You just need to try it out and it's pretty easy to make as well. So try it out. Let me know what you think or what you'd add to make it better maybe. I'm gonna go finish eating this now.